We're live. Hopefully everybody can hear us. Oh.
Hello everybody and welcome to our first episode of the Snowflake Show with your co-hosts Regan and Lee. We hope you all have been having a great week. I will pass you over to Lee in just a second, but just before to the nitty gritty of the news today for this week, I just want to plug a couple of more things. If you guys like the show, if you enjoy our content, please click that like button down below. It always helps, greatly appreciated, and it helps the channel greatly. If you also want to help grow our content, you can also click the share button and share it across all our streaming platforms. And of course, yeah, you can also click the notification button as well, so you'll be notified when we're live every single week, of course. Lee, how are you been, my friend? It's been a good week, yeah, since we last
not bad,
had
not
a discussion.
Bad. Yeah, we've had a bit of rain, you know. Been some of the news been happening in the world, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's been a bit of quiet week.
Quiet news front. Yeah, on the news front. Yeah.
Nothing really.
Oh, Liv Struss, she's like new PM or something. I don't know.
Oh, isn't that the droid? Isn't that the droid? I think. I think she's that droid.
What are you trying to say?
No, she's been compared to a droid, and then.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, and if anyone knows the Star Wars reference, this is not the droid we're looking for, by the way.
You know, I need to double check that all this is great. I'm just going to double check that the sound's working before anybody, before we get into this, because we had a few technical issues last time. So
just bear me a second while I check this. So just while Lee's doing that. Echo. So we'll just give a bit of a rundown to what we're going to be going through today. So we'll talk a little bit about the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, her appointment. We'll also talk a little bit about PMQs. We got a story on what's been happening with Donald Trump and the Mar-a-Lago raid. Sure, you guys have been aware about a month. I think it's just over a month ago, I think, when it happened. And we've got a really nice, funny story for you guys to share. We've also got some one or two other interesting stories as well, and one or two nice heartwarming stories, which is what we all would need in this very negative world that we live in. I'm sure you'll agree, Lee.
So, should we start off with the news then?
We will start off with the news. Take it away, Lee.
Right, here we go. Let's see how professional this looks.
Oh.
There you go. Look at that, seamless almost. But if for some reason not in the middle of the screen.
Mr. News.
Let's go back to the other one. I'll fix that.
Oh,
your camera. We had a bit of an issue. So you were due to have a new camera. Was supposed to arrive.
Yes.
Today.
For the record, I know a lot of people would be saying I have ordered a new camera, and the best part is it said it was coming today. They've told me it's coming Monday now. So
yeah, never mind.
That's never mind.
Sorry, just let me sort your picture out on this. There we go. There you go. You're not just like cut off from like you just below your bottom lip. You were before. There we go. That's better. Right.
Shall I just start going down now? Yeah.
Right. So.
Liz Truss.
Liz Truss.
The new Prime Minister.
New glorious leader.
She won the most votes. There she is in all her glory. Good God Almighty! What? Are we happy with her instead of Boris Johnson? I don't know. I mean,
I'm not happy. No, not at all. No, I mean, she's worse. I don't know. You look at some of the cabinet. I mean, we can go through the cabinet that she's appointed today.
Yeah.
And then we can see just how great that is. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. Here we go.
Yeah. The majority of the cabinet is filled with ERG members, just for the reference there. So it's not a very conservative cabinet. It's more of a very strong ERG. I would even go as far to say UKIP cabinet, as you can see there on the screen.
Right.
So I'll run down through some of the. I won't run down through every single one, but you can tell by the names and some of the positions. It's quite a horrifying point of view for the whole of the UK. Never mind just England. We've got Theresa Coffey as Deputy Prime Minister and Health Secretary. Of course,
She's her best mate, apparently. Sorry to interrupt, but she claims that Liz Truss is her best friend.
Best friend, yeah. Well, there's a great picture
maybe only friend,
of Theresa
actually.
Coffey. If you haven't seen it online, there's a great picture of her with a fag in her, smoking a cigar with a glass of wine in her hand. So you can tell she's all ready to protect our NHS and save lives. So that is our Health Secretary there. Is it the Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng?
Kwarteng.
Another one. Well, not good. James Cleverly, Foreign Secretary. Suella Braverman, Home Secretary. Is she going to be worse than Priti Patel?
Well, you know, when they announced that Priti Patel had resigned, I was like, yes, thank God for that. But then
yes, so was I.
Saw Suella.
The vampire is finally left the castle.
And then I saw Suella Braverman, or Cruella Braverman, as they call her, and you're just like, oh God, she's worse. She's like Priti Patel, but even more stupid and more right wing, more xenophobic and racist. I don't know. I can't. For me, it's not good, is it?
Nope, it is not good at all.
What do you think of Suella Braverman?
I don't have enough knowledge on her to be perfectly honest. I don't know too much about her background. Well, her background or history, but I imagine that it's not good. I'll just put it at that, based on what people have said. Not good is a good enough position. I mean, if I hear the vast majority of people say, yeah, she's bad, then yeah, she's probably bad. But is she going to be able to push the Rwanda policy in? Because that's the thing that the Conservative Party have been really keen to push. Liz Truss has backed the Rwanda policy, and obviously they're going to have to go through a hell of a lot of hoops through the legal courts in order to make it happen. So that will be an interesting development as time progresses. I personally hope that they don't, and obviously human rights prevail and that nobody gets deported to Rwanda. But we'll have to wait and see. But obviously it's not just that policy. Can she do anything about crime? Crime's getting worse as well. There's lots of things that the Home Secretary needs to get on top of. And we just don't have much hope at the moment for Suella Braverman, because I think even if we had a good person in that role, they're still going to have a hard time when it comes to just getting approval from the PM, obviously, as well. So it'll be a tough one. That will be. Did you want to go through? I don't have the list in front of me. Do you have the? Do you just want to run through the names?
I don't know if you can see it on the stream. Yeah. So Ben Wallace, Defence Secretary. Brandon Lewis, Justice Secretary. I think Brandon Lewis was the one who said that we would be breaking the law in a very specific and what was it? A very small and specific. Oh, I can't remember.
In a limited and specific way, I think was
that was it. Limited and specific way. Yeah, Justice Secretary. Limited. So that's a good move, isn't it? It always seems like, I mean, Donald Trump did the same, and sorry, Boris Johnson, is if you've got somebody who is against something, put them in charge of it. So, like for example, the next one, Jacob Rees-Mogg, Business, Energy, Industrial Strategy Secretary, Energy. He's like
he doesn't even have any energy. He doesn't even have any energy.
Nobody that thing can have energy. he's literally
with some enthusiasm. He doesn't even have any energy.
Well, the other thing is he's got vested interests in energy, the energy sector. So it's a conflict of interest, and this has been raised. I'm not sure whether it's been raised or whether it's going to be raised in Parliament or whether it's going to be raised. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll have to wait and see. So that should be interesting. Nadine Zahawi, Chancellor Duchy of Lancaster, Minister for Intergovernmental Relations and Minister for Equalities.
Yeah.
And then Penny Mordaunt, Leader of the House of Commons and Lord President of the Council, and then The only real other one that I can see is Kemi Badenoch, who is International Trade Secretary.
Have they announced the transport
so
secretary
just go back
yet
to that.
replace Graham Sharps or not yet?
Transport, Anne-Marie Trevelyan.
Right. Okay.
Is
well,
transport.
Let's hope that Anne actually does something instead of Graham Sharps, which is just sitting on his butt while people are striking and people demanding better wages. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But it's a very very ERG cabinet.
Yep.
Very UKIP feel. I don't really know what more to add to that. I mean, we'll have to. Well, I mean, people say we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt, but this is a lot of the same people that have been either in the cabinet or around close to the circle. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see how they do in the first week. I'm not expecting big changes, but we'll wait and see.
Did you see the speech that she gave when she was first announced on stage at the
you mean
centre?
we will deliver? We will deliver.
Yeah.
We will.
Well, Joe, let's have a quick look at it. This is this was her speech.
Let me while you did just bring that up, just going to quickly say hello to Gingers, hello Conservator, and hello Two Fingers. Thanks you guys for dropping by. Really appreciate it.
Breetown, I am now your prime Easter.
Anything else?
If I'm elected, I will deliver and act immediately in order to get things done. I will hit the ground running from day one, putting Great Britain on the right footing for summer.
But you are Prime Minister.
Oh, am I? I am now your Prime Master.
What about the help everyone needs?
What I will say is that within a week there will be an announcement to announce the announcement that I will make to announce the announcement about the announcement of help to be announced. And I will be clear about that. I will also plan to have planned some bold plans for the plans ahead. This will take a month, and I will unleash these plans immediately now. But this will take time. Before you're elected, you don't get shown how to do it, so I would have to wait for the results of the campaign to find out.
But you are Prime Minister.
Oh, am I? I am now your Prime Minister. And to Boris, I say thank you. You've got it all done. From Kiev's to Carlsberg. Moving forwards, as Lib Dem Labour Conservatives, we will deliver, 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 we will deliver.
Oh no, the droid's malfunctioning.
And we will deliver to this great incontinent.
Oh, thank God this technical.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Nerine Skinner. She's very, very, very funny. She's done a few of these different Liv Struss videos, and they're very, very funny. So I'll put a link in the chat or in the description.
We'll put it also in our Discord server, which as well, just for reference as well. For those, what I'll try and do before the end of the stream, I'll try and put the link in the chat for everybody as soon as once we get near the end of the stream. So, shall we go on
the chat? Just I've got the chat because I think you got kind of your voice was drowned out by the video. So, Conservators here, hi Conservator, Gingers Giraffes, and Two Fingers. Hello, people. So, thanks for watching. Prime Easter she was the Prime Easter, yes. She is the new Prime Easter.
Yes, sure was, Conservator, sure was.
Yes. So, what was next?
Or Diddy Lizzy.
Oh, we're going to talk
Lizzy for PMQs.
Go on.
PMQs.
PMQs. Yeah, what did you think of that today?
Another more of a robot and more robotic stuff. I imagine really pretty much from Dizzy Lizzy. But the problem is that it's Keir Starmer had to go into it a little bit different, obviously, because they haven't shown all their cards yet, because they're still putting everything together. I mean, obviously, there's the energy package that's going to come up. That's obviously going to make that's going to oh my god, I'm losing my train of thought. That's going to come. But obviously, it's not going to be a windfall tax. It's basically like just going to pay off the energy. I'm not sure how the deal works, but basically, it's going to cover people for the winter for now. But obviously, it's not going to deal with the problem in the long term. I imagine the energy deal that they're coming up with.
Well, I think if they're talking about a price cap, and that's fine. It's just a case of where that gets paid for, and this is Keir Starmer's argument, and he basically pushed her, and she just basically said, "Oh, you just typical Labour, you just want to push taxes on it, increase taxes." The problem is that they reckon it's going to cost 90 billion. They're going to have to borrow 90 billion pounds to cover the price freeze. That now the energy companies, what they wanted to do was they wanted to borrow the money or pay it back. They wanted to pay it back through bills. Now that would have meant like for the next 10 years or so, you're probably going to end up with massive bills similar to what we're facing at the moment. Which I don't think anybody wants. Like I said in the previous when we had a chat about this before, is that you don't want this to be this sort of level of pricing to be the new normal. It has to come down at some point because it's unsustainable. But for the energy firms, they probably don't mind if it stays like that. The problem is that the government said no, it will be paid for by the taxpayer. We'll borrow the money, so you're going to end up paying with the tax. The issue is, and this is the whole thing with Liv Struss and her sort of right wing libertarian. Well, she's got the guy from who's the head of the think tank, i.e. Tufted
Is that
Street.
the Brexit economist, I believe?
He's an economist. He's basically he's now an economic advisor. He's the head of the Taxpayers Alliance think tank, which is just a right wing, no tax, lobby group. Now, if for them the idea is that she will cut taxes. She keeps saying she's going to cut taxes. So if you cut taxes and then borrow more money, where does the money come from to pay for the money you borrowed? It can either come on. Apparently, she's consistently voted to raise VAT in the Commons, so she doesn't mind putting taxes up for ordinary people, but she doesn't want high taxes for the rich. You can tell by her voting record on that. So I think it's either the tax money is going to come from somewhere, or which will be either more tax, or it's going to have to be reduced services, reduced NHS, all these different, anything you can think of will be cut back to the bone, back to austerity, effectively, if the way she's talking.
That's not what we need right now. I mean,
no.
They've been doing that since 2010, and we are not better off as a society. So
no.
if you can keep trying the same thing over and over, but if people's lives aren't getting better, it's time to switch it up. Did you watch the full PMQs? Because I didn't catch.
I did. Yeah, it wasn't
the main debate.
Yeah, I watched all of it. There's I had it on the background. There's an interesting one. This one, if I just show you this is a guy called Chris Loder, Conservative MP for West Dorset. So just let me bring that up.
Mr. Speaker, Scottish Power
just quickly while you do that, considering the chances she's still in power for a year from now, foreign is like 3 million, it's like
renewable electricity. Yet constituents of mine in West Dorset are baffled that the energy regulator allows those prices to rise on par with oil and gas. Would my right honourable friend confirm that she is on the side of the consumer in her energy policy that we'll hear from tomorrow?
Well, I certainly am on the side of consumer, and we need to make sure that we deal with all of the issues in the energy market and the way that energy is regulated. And I will certainly be saying more about this tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister should know by
we'll
now
see
that,
what happens with that. I think, you know, this is the thing. I mean, if you have knowledge of how the electricity industry works, and it's basically down to who generates electricity and how much that costs and and peak prices. If you're generating electricity with renewables and the cost less than the price of the peak, then you get paid the price of the peak, regardless of how much it costs you to generate. So in peak times, it becomes more expensive. At the end of the day, if you're generating from renewables, you're not having to pay. You might have to pay the wholesale price, but you also get the wholesale price for what you've paid. So effectively, it doesn't cost you any more. You just have that. You just have the cost of the renewable. So there's no reason for charging more for that. And I looked at my bill. EDF's. I'm with EDF, and it's like the 60-odd% nuclear. There's only 7% oil and 0.1% gas. Sorry, other way around. 7% gas, 0.1% oil, tiny bit of coal. Most of it's like 20-odd% renewable. So basically, it's virtually all renewable and nuclear, which is really cheap. But they're still charging a hell of a lot. You know, my bill's nearly doubled at the moment, and that's, you know, it's the way things are going. Unless there's a cap, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But unless there's a cap, then that is not going to get any better.
I think
but they shouldn't. Go on.
I was just going to say, Liz is going to do something anyway. She can't sit on it because schools will close because they can't pay the bills. Businesses will close because they can't pay this bill. You know, the whole country's going to go. I mean, it sounds crazy and it sounds stupid, but if businesses and homes and communities, they can't pay these bills, it's all gonna, you know, it's gonna force the country into a shutdown. It sounds crazy and it sounds like something that would never happen in the UK, but this will happen if something is not done. And she, as stupid and as dizzy as this Prime Minister is, she will do something, because everyone will be screaming at her, including those Conservative MPs, saying that the entire country is going to go to an absolute standstill if something is not done on this. They can't let it slide. It's not something, because it's not just affecting the poorest and the low income. This is also going to affect the middle income. This is going to affect businesses, shops, schools, communities. It's all going to be affected by these energy prices. They have to step in and do something, and obviously how they do that is, maybe people don't care. I think it's fair to say that from a non-political point of view, people don't care how it is dealt with. They just want it dealt with. Whether it's Labour's way of doing it or the Conservative have an idea of how they do it, they just want to be able to pay the bills so that they can carry on living their lives, regardless of what political party's in charge or whatever. People are scared, and unnecessary mental health is occurring right now, and people just want to live their lives. And at the moment, we're in a very, very bad position. And the sooner the government sorts this out, the better for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I think it hasn't helped with this ridiculous leadership campaign that's gone on for weeks, for like 6 weeks, and nothing's been done, and it's just made things worse. Businesses have gone bust over it. But yeah. Sorry, when we go do the chat, can we just do it when we're not playing a video, because you can't hear your voice over the top of it when you're talking. So
that's because I've got the channel, the actual channel that we're all listening to on mute.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay on it, so you probably don't realise it.
So I don't want anyone to get an echo on it, so in case anyone wonders
why
I stopped talking, just for the reference. Just a couple of things. I'm just going to quickly for the chat, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So Context has arrived. He said, "Good evening, everyone. Sorry for being late. That's all right, Context. Appreciate you being here."
Good evening, Context.
Conservative says nuclear isn't cheap, but costs haven't increased for nuclear. So
that's true.
That's
but
some
it's still,
nice stuff there.
As a mix, it's quite in the mix. It's quite cheap compared to others.
Yeah. So we'll shift gears for now. We will come back probably come back to Liv Struss maybe a bit later. If not, we'll come back to more on British politics next week. But we're going to shift over. So obviously in our test live stream last week we talked about Japan. We're going to America this time, and this is quite a big story. I'll try not to spend too much time on it, but I think it's quite serious. So the main headline is material on foreign nuclear capabilities seized at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. So most people will know that there was a raid that took place at the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, at Mar-a-Lago home by the FBI because he had classified documents that he was not entitled to keep in his home. Quite a lot of classified documents, and some of those classified documents had materials basically of nuclear capabilities of a foreign power. Yeah, that's pretty scary when you think about it. Something like that in a home in his residence, and not somewhere secure and locked and safe.
Wow,
that's pretty terrifying when you think about it. So I'll just read just a quick bit on it. So the document describes foreign governments' military defences, including its nuclear capabilities, which was found by FBI agents who searched the former president's Mar-a-Lago residence and private club last month. According to people familiar with the matter, underscoring concerns amongst US intelligence officials about classified materials stashed in the Florida property. Some of the seized documents details top secret US operations so closely guarded and that many senior national security officials are kept in the dark about them. Only the president and some members of his cabinet or near cabinet level officials could authorize other government officials to know details of these special access programs, according to people familiar with the search, who spoke with the condition to anonymously to describe sensitive details of this ongoing investigation. So obviously there's a big investigation going on with regards to it. If you want to see the full article on this, there is one from the Washington Post, which I will put a link into our Discord server if you guys want to have a look at it as well, because I really think it's a fascinating one. For me, the most stunning, just before I finish on this point, what most stunning for me is that it's already shocking enough that Trump had these documents in the first place, like really sensitive documents, but the fact that there was nuclear and military capabilities of foreign powers in the hands of President Trump for what has been a few years now since he's left office. I mean, that's just
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, Lee.
I mean, go on, sorry. I'll let you finish.
I'm just thinking, man, just imagine if Russia got their hands on it. For all we know, Russia may have their hands on it.
I mean, it depends what the country, which we don't know which country it is. I mean, it could be the UK, it could be Russia themselves, actually. Could be France, could be any country.
Korea,
yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it's any country with nuclear capabilities. There's quite a few countries with nuclear capabilities.
Yeah,
some
India,
some
Pakistan,
much higher than lower.
Israel.
So,
yeah, there's lots of countries. There's a fair few countries with nuclear capabilities. So yeah, it is a bit worrying that. God.
Yeah, more than 18 months they've been in that Mar-a-Lago home.
Like
184 in a set of box of 15 was sent to the National Archives and Record Admissions. So yeah, 300 classified documents. That's how much. It's this story's gonna roll on for a bit.
Because Brian Taylor Cohen did a video about it, which you sent me before, and he was saying that I didn't see all of it, but he was saying there's that that woman who was the young woman who's a bit of a sort of a what's the word? She's
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Is that the person you're talking about?
No, she's like I don't know if she's a fraud. She's a fraud. You'd say she's a fraudster. I think she ended up in prison because of fraud. Basically, pretending to be an heiress to the Rothschilds, managed to get into into Mar-a-Lago, Russian speaking as well. So she could have been she could have been selling secrets to the Russians if she wanted to, and she was able to walk in and persuade Donald Trump that she was a member of the Rothschild family, and there's a picture of her on the golf course with Donald Trump and another senior Republican, Lindsey Graham. That was it, Lindsey Graham. So, and there's no security. Remember when Donald Trump first became president, and he went to Mar-a-Lago. They were taking photographs of the guy holding the nuclear football, the briefcase with all the nuclear codes in. And the guy had to literally change jobs, because once you know who carries the nuclear football, it just opens anything.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, mental.
We'll keep an eye on this story, guys, as it progresses. But obviously, big story there. We're already halfway through the stream, so we'll run straight to the next topic. So we got a nice funny one for you guys.
Oh yeah. This one's good.
So if you're a fan of football, or soccer as they say in America, you'll like this one. So the headline is goalkeeper's red card for urinating in a hedge during an FA Cup tie that leaves the manager gobsmacked. Yes, I kid you not. So a goalkeeper who obviously needed to, nature was calling, shall we put it. So when you're in that situation, you're kind of buggered, aren't you? Because you can't exactly go off the pitch during the game. So he went to take a leak in a hedge during the game. This is an FA Cup first round qualifying match. And when the opposition player saw him doing that, they basically told the referee. The referee basically went up to him and gave him the red card and sent him off for doing that. And I've got to say, like, there's a way. Like, I understand that, when people got to go, they got to go. But why is he being sent off for something that that we can't control?
He wasn't on the pitch as well, so he wasn't doing anything on the pitch. I think it's I don't know. I think it happens probably more often than you would think, but just this is the thing when you get into non-league matches. And that level, the refereeing level is disgraceful. But also, teams are like, they're just like one man and his dog teams or supporters. Nobody, there's only a few hundred people turn up, or maybe 20 odd people. Ninth tier, Blackfield and Langley.
Yeah. So just a quick reference. So one of the co-managers who insisted the players don't always get to choose where to go, he said he needed to go to the toilet. So he went up against the hedge and the players started shouting, "What's he doing to the ref?" The ref went up to him.
What's he doing to the ref? You're not weird on the ref.
He protected himself. He was inside the hedge. Sometimes when you have to go, you have to go. I was gobsmacked. We're all pretty shocked by the decision.
Interesting.
They got quite a bit of tension on social media as well. We will put that link in the description on our Discord server as well if you guys want to check out that. But that's pretty funny story we've got there.
Conservator in the chat says, well, considering football is about to put on a show, taking a leak during the match doesn't seem like a good idea to me. Context said,
you probably get worse. Qatar.
Yeah, context says, shouldn't it be the yellow card shouldn't the yellow card be more appropriate? Oh dear.
Well done there.
Daily Blase's in the chat. Good evening all. Hi Daily Blase, thanks for joining us.
Hello Daily Blase, hope you're well.
Star YouTuber. He does it more professionally.
Definitely check out his content, guys, if you haven't already.
We'll put links to
wonderful work.
Yeah, we'll put links to Daily Blase as well in the chat and on the Discord server.
Yes. Shall we run to the next heartwarming topic? So yes, the good news, positive news, happy news. I don't know if you got the video set up.
Yeah, should do the video.
I'll just give a quick brief before you play the video, just for people to don't know. So this is a lovely story about a long-lost brother to be reunited after 77 years and 10,000 miles. Lovely story. Liv, you ready? If you just want to show up.
Yeah, let me get the sound.
Guys, just to get that up. Lovely, heartwarming stuff when you see stories like these. So, cross fingers it works.
Nobs, better known as Ted. I'm off on Sunday to go and see my brother. This one here, Jeffrey, who was adopted when he was 2 years old, and I've never seen him. This is myself. This is Barry, my brother that lives up Ripon, and this is John, my eldest brother, who sadly passed away in 2010. But hopefully when I get to Australia I shall be able to meet Jeffrey, give him a hug, which I've never been able to do. And we got a good plan of where we're going to go. There's lots involved in going. We're going up to see the barrier reef, and I've also got a wedding to go to of Jeff's granddaughter. So it's going to be real experience, something I never thought I'd do, never thought I'd see him. Jeffrey was adopted when he was 2 years old because Mum died when she was 30 and Dad was left with us 4 boys, and I believe that Dad had this photograph taken so that we all knew one another and we could look back and we could look at one another, how we were. As I say, I haven't seen Jeffrey. He was adopted. He went away. The adoptive parents took him to Australia. I understand he didn't have the best of lives out there in his young days, but he's made good. He's been married twice, and he's had, I believe, 8 children in the duration. We have talked a lot on the phone since we first got in touch with one another. We'd all tried to find one another, but it wasn't until 2014 that Jeff found us. My next younger brother, Barry, received a letter from Jeff, and that's it. Well, when he told me, it was wonderful, and we had quite a conversation. Jeffrey was going to come and see me on my 80th birthday, and red tape and one thing and another stopped him coming. Sadly, I lost my wife, so now I'm on my own. I thought, well, if the mountain can't come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain. And I'll go and see my brother. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I never thought I'd see this day. Let's hope it all happens.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. I don't think I really need to add any more to that, do I? So wonderful story. So stories like that are so heartwarming, and we need more of them these days. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I certainly did. So back to Westminster, technically, aren't we? So you got Jacob Rees-Mogg as Energy Minister, or did you want to? I suppose we have. Yeah, we already lost our mind talking about that. I suppose. Do you? Shall we go to the next topic then? Shall we? Oh no, you're not out of order now, are you? No. Yes, what's a beautiful story, David Blase. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks, context point out. My mic wasn't switched on, so nobody could hear me. Right, okay.
Oh dear.
We're gonna kind of switch around now. So, there's this Twitter handle called Liv Struss, which isn't actually Liz Truss. It's Liz Trussell, just some completely innocent person. And she's been getting lots of tweets from different people about congratulating her and things like that. And she's got rolled with it. She really has rolled with it. It's like she tweeted today, grab lunch at IKEA UK today, picked up a new cabinet. Very good, very funny. But my favourite one was she got the Swedish PM. Congratulations to Liz Truss as she assumes the role of Prime Minister of the UK. Sweden and UK will continue our deep and comprehensive cooperation, important for our citizens, economies and security. And she replied, looking forward to a visit soon. Get the meatballs ready. Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, someone will get told off, I'm sure, in that.
It got deleted. The original tweet got deleted, but luckily she saved the screenshot of it. So
terrible.
But yeah, so she's had a few other people who kind of like. There was somebody called David Cameron who said, "Yeah, I know how you feel. Welcome to the club." Things like that. So yeah, I'm just trying to find the other one. Let me go back. So.
Oh, it's definitely got some much needed publicity.
Yeah.
It could also be for the wrong reasons as well.
Yeah. I had this on open on the page, which is really annoying because I want to find because it's really funny. Oh no, I know I've got a thread open. That's why. So I'm just going to try and find this. So Marina Purkis, you know who she is. She's
Classic woman. That's a lot of good stuff she does.
Yeah, and she does the stuff on Byline. On Byline TV, the table. So
yeah, highly recommend, guys. If you haven't if you haven't, they should be starting their live streams from this Friday, I believe, because they've been on a bit of a hiatus. But they also do like a table debate every week as well. Definitely worth checking out. Byline Times on YouTube. Highly recommend it.
So, Ranil Jawardena MP. So read this. Great news! Trade barriers have been lifted in Mongolia for British poultry and fish exporters, with our farmers now supplying chicken to KFC Mongolia. This offers exciting opportunities for our farmers to sell into a £10 million market. Hashtag global trade. Hashtag global Britain. Barrier removed. Yeah? To which Marina Purkis pointed out, 3 things. This tweet is not satire. 2, this is our new Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. 3, there are 11 KFCs in Mongolia. Yes.
Oh, wait, it's not satire. Are you sure?
This is the level we're at in this country now, where they're scraping the barrel for any kind of benefit from Brexit. Just selling chickens to 10 KFCs in Mongolia is seen as a big win.
Well, the good news is they're going to get a 3-piece chicken meal that they've never had before over there. So that is a Brexit benefit for the people of Mongolia. That's the best way you can put it. So
yeah,
Brexit Britain, good for the world, bad for Britain.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
Dear, oh dear.
Is the chat frozen? Or is it just that when nobody's talking in the chat? Oh, that was it.
It might be just nobody's talking.
Nobody's talking in the chat.
But yeah, those. Yeah. Or if you could follow her on Twitter, obviously, Marina, please do, because she always has really good stuff, and obviously, as we said, Byline TV as well to check out. So on your list, you've got Liz Struss. We already discussed that.
Yeah, we just did that one. We kind of did them out of
Yeah.
order because I couldn't find the tweet. So,
Okay.
and then we're on to. We're running a bit short now. You said we wouldn't have any.
Have we actually gone through these topics a bit too quickly? Have we?
I think with the first few were a bit long-winded, and then these last few are really short. So, yeah.
Well, what we could do is we could talk. We'll. Did you want to hold off on talking about Mama's Flow for a little bit, and we'll just talk a little bit more about this cabinet that we shuffle? We can go.
Can do. I mean, yeah. Daily Blase says as a country we've proper jumped the shark, which is very true.
Yeah,
yes,
we did. Yeah, small dinghy in a giant pond full of sharks. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
So let's have a look. If we go back to this, then.
Yeah, if you can bring up the cabinet, it might be worth just maybe we could just bring a bit more about it.
So I'm just going to try and get as much on screen as.
Yeah,
I think we've done the top few.
I think we ran through these topics a bit too quickly, but we're still learning, so we'll get the balance right.
Just need to make a really long list.
Yeah,
and then...
but practice as we always say. So just looking on the screen now, you've got there. So some of those names.
Kit Malthouse, Education Secretary. I don't really know anything enough about him. Ranil Jayawardena, Environment Secretary. That was the person who was tweeting about KFC to Mongolia.
Yep, that's working out well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Michelle Donovan, if I said that right, the Culture Secretary.
Yeah, don't know about.
I don't know. Is she worse or better than Nadine Dorries? That's a good question.
Sorry.
Let's hope.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope. I mean, I'm just hoping that they don't carry on with this idea of getting rid of Channel 4. But the way the rest of them are going about it, I mean, Liz Truss is still talking. It was, she's pro getting rid of the TV license and for funding the BBC, and so I can't see her kind of changing tune on that.
I don't think there's any reason. I think the only one who was pushing for Channel 4 privatisation more than anyone was just Nadine Dorries. There wasn't too much shouting from the Conservatives about it. It was mainly just her. Maybe I don't know how Boris felt about it. I can't remember if he actually publicly said we should privatise Channel 4, but I know Nadine Dorries was just going on and on and on about it and didn't have any context. Daily Blase had some great videos of when she was questioned about it in the committee hearings. So if you check out Daily Blase's channel, he's got some really good stuff on when she was actually put to the tough questions put to her, and obviously she couldn't come up with the answers for them because just for a bit of context, Channel 4 actually makes money for the government, doesn't lose money, actually makes money for the government, so worth pointing that out there.
I mean, really all it comes down to is that they're very good at questioning. They don't take the they don't get pushed around like the BBC do. So when and they're not bothered if they annoy anybit particularly in the government. They ask the tough questions.
The other one, I think, the Northern Ireland Secretary role, that's going to be a tough one as well, considering what's going on at the moment. They still haven't formed their government there.
No. So
Chris is going to have a tough time on his hands as the Secretary. Or he's probably just going to sit on his arse and do nothing.
Before PMQs, they had a debate about Northern Ireland with the new Northern Ireland Secretary. I think the old Northern Ireland Secretary was there as well, and people were saying that things like the rebates aren't happening because there's no government to put it into place. Things like for the energy crisis, the money that the government's giving in England, it can't happen in Northern Ireland. So that was my understanding from listening to what they were saying. So they desperately need a government in there. But I mean, it's a DUP really that's just spat its dummy out because it's no longer the biggest party.
Yeah, you could just say there's just been a bunch of snowflakes about it all.
Yeah, snowflakes. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really bad for the people of Northern Ireland, because you know stuff needs to get done, and they can't get done in the country while the government is in hiatus, and it's not helping anyone. They're not helping themselves. They're not helping their country, and all they're doing is just kicking their feet and sticking their heads in the sand, thinking, you know, what they're going to get what they want, and the truth is they're not going to get what they want. They're only going to make things worse for themselves, and they're only going to turn more voters away, because all they're doing is making things worse for the people of Northern Ireland. So interesting. Like, I think about what's. I mean, I suppose Scotland's position isn't going to change at all, really, pretty much on the new Prime Minister. Nicola Sturgeon's done made some recently new announcements as well, didn't she? And some stuff to help some people within this cost of living crisis. Obviously, she can't do anything about the energy bills, but I believe she has. Oh, what was that? I saw it on one of the videos from one of our YouTubers. She's what's she done? She announced something that would save people money, and I can't remember for the life of me what it is, but if someone in the chat could probably remind me. But Sturgeon is trying to do everything she possibly can within the powers that the Scottish government has to try and protect people from this cost of living crisis. And you think, yeah, at the moment, because they're quite limited on the power they have, you do wonder once they eventually gain independence, which even though I'm English, I actually back Scottish independence because Scotland deserves better, in my general opinion. You wonder what they would do once they have the power in their hands to be able to do and control their country in any way, shape or form. I mean, they are the first country to offer free tampons and free periods, free tampons and sanitary products as well, and the first country in the world to offer it for free for women and girls, which is a fantastic achievement in itself. So I'd be interested to see how Scotland approaches Westminster with the new Prime Minister in charge.
Yeah. Just going back to the chat, Daily Blase says, we noticed that all Liz Truss fans were over-egging her performance in P&Qs today. Really telling. Yeah, I think for me, they kind of made, you know, she just really got, Keir Starmer just took her to task, and I thought was just demolished her. But just the last thing, she went, oh, typical Labour, all they want to do is put up taxes. And everybody went, raw, 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 more. And it was just like, oh, God. And she did the same to Ian Blackford as well. So... yeah. Channel 4 Context says Channel 4 making money is an abomination. It should be making money for the private sector. Only businesses losing money should be nationalised, according to Conservatives. So yeah, true. Right. Just someone who mentioned it before. Context says, do you see Jonathan Pye's tribute to Bojo? So have a quick look at that. Oh, we've got a bit more time.
We've got a little bit more time before streaming, so we could definitely put that on. I have not seen it, unfortunately, but because I am a subscriber to his YouTube channel, but he doesn't put anything on there anymore. I think it's because of his.
It's a Telegraph one.
Yeah, I think it's because he does it with certain tabloids now. His videos or what.
Oh yeah, he did one. Was it Wall Street Journal or something? He did one on New York Times.
Yeah, I think he just gets paid a lot of money to do them now, and you know. Like, why do them for free when you can do them for money, I guess, for Jonathan Pye.
Right, let's have a look at this then.
An untrustworthy serial shagger who won't tell the press how many kids he's got because he's not entirely sure himself.
Boris went to Eton, a sort of Hogwarts for wankers.
Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, that's his actual fucking name.
A man who would rather pretend to be stupid than admit his mistakes, which of course makes him a coward. Was fired for lying about shagging someone behind his wife's back. narcissist, only out for himself,
An egotistical charlatan.
posh, upper-class, bumbling idiot. I don't understand what the word party means. My willy just ended up inside my secretary.
Jimmy Savile's fat, evil twin. Chris Tarrant on a come-down.
A man who took an 80-seat majority and just spaffed it up the wall. You fucked it, mate. He's resigned, but he hasn't fucked off. Hubris, incompetence, deceit, and shit hair. Reshuffling cat shit on a litter tray. A desperate, sad, talentless flag shagger. His arrogance and entitlement, they know no bound. Useless, posh sliver of bollock skin. I'd be happy with just his balls. The most hated man in his party and his country.
Boris Johnson would be the result if Greggs the baker ever branched out into eugenics. Dismal, disloyal, disorganised.
Fuck up after fuck up, lie after lie. Cannibals, self-serving parasites, tapeworms in tiaras, vicious right-wing populists.
With the appearance of an uncooked oven chip in a suit of a wounded balloon, a pickled intestine, a sack of vicious custard. Boris Johnson, an abducted Milky Bar kid found 40 years later in a port cellar.
A Shakespearean tragedy written by monkeys on typewriters. He's still fucking there. Why don't you just fuck off, you entitled sack of minge? What a legacy. Chaos, blah, blah, blah. Something Latin, levelling up, cockwomble, selfish, millionaire, flag shagger,
Disloyal,
populist, fucking div. The day I start taking lessons in morality from the likes of Boris Johnson is the day I start taking the fucking smack. Boris Johnson is a liar. Just keep it simple.
There we go. Let me just stop that. Yeah, wow.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Brilliant. Thanks for that context. That was excellent.
Brilliant.
Oh, jeez.
Guys, if you ever get a chance to go to one of his shows, I would strongly recommend it. Honestly, it was absolutely, definitely check out his stuff if you ever see it pop up anywhere on your social media stuff, guys. But we're almost at the end of the stream, Lee. So I think we will end on a story that we shared on our test stream.
Which doesn't exist anymore. So there's no proof that we've ever done it before. So we're not repeating the same thing. So this is quite close to me because it's only like about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from me. So this is Mama Flo. She owns a Jamaican takeaway in Hazel Grove in Stockport, and she's basically fed the local kids whose parents couldn't afford to feed them during the summer holidays. She's fed them for free out of her own pocket, yeah, she's quite quite an amazing woman, really. And on the last day, a fryer broke, and she had to rush into Manchester to get another one, and she had a massive queue of people outside. But she still cooked loads of food for kids for free, and she didn't ask for parents to give, to buy a meal in order to get a free meal. She just basically gave them for free. So basically doing what the government wouldn't do. So she's got but she has like famous people coming to a store and to a shop, and like Carl Walker and Marcus Rashford, footballers who've come in, and she has a tip box so people can put money in if they want to help out, to help pay for it. But basically she just does it for free because says she loves cooking, and she hates to see anybody go hungry. So there you go.
Yeah, lovely story. And at this moment in time, we have a lot of people having to choose, obviously, between heating and eating. And when we hear that phrase, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And stories like this, ordinary people who don't have to do who shouldn't have to do what they're doing. They shouldn't have to, do it for free. They shouldn't have to feed these kids. It should be the job of the government. The job of a government is to look after its people. That is the main priority. We all know that. And this government, this Conservative Party, shall we say, has failed in its last 12 years to deliver for the people of all 4 nations of the UK. And that is why we need a general election and a proportional representation, so that we can, hopefully, change. The country will change for the better. But for Mama Flo here, we're extremely blessed to have people like her living and working in the UK, doing the wonderful work that the government should be doing. So bless her soul.
Maybe we should have done those the other way around. They have a really funny thing to laugh at the end, but never mind.
Well, I think Jonathan Pye did a fair job for us, to be fair. But we are, as just before we wrap things up, guys, in the chat I have put a link to the Discord server. Just for reference, guys, it's completely free. There's no paywall or anything like that. And feel free to drop in, say hello. We also have lots of content on there as well. We try to bring in as well. And most of the stories that we shared here on today's live stream, we will obviously put on the Discord server, so you could have a look at your own pleasure as well. So Lee, it's another hour and another week done for today, isn't it?
Yeah, for the week. Don't have to worry about it until next Wednesday.
Yes, until next Wednesday. And
cross fingers that I won't.
And cross fingers, I will not be rushing home from work, because that's what I had to do today. Believe it or not.
But on a different
we all
shift
got to
next
go.
week.
Let's hope so. Unfortunately, I can't give you an answer. But what I can say is, I am quietly confident I will have a new camera, and one where you're not seeing me less pixelated. But
we'll be able to see what you actually. We'll be able to see what you actually look like, rather than just kind of through frosted glass, which is what it looks like at the moment.
Yes. So just before we go, thank you all guys very much for watching. If you can, please click the like button on your way out. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone who has messaged in the chat. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you guys can, if you can share the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you all very much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. Please like, subscribe, all the rest of it. Share it as well, please. And until next week, we'll say goodbye.
Stay snowflakey.
Stay snowflakey. Like it.
Yeah. Take care all. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye.